just the good, the bad, the ugly from the game on Thursday?
We won against a quality opponent. That I got a lot of respect for that program. I've competed against those guys a lot, and they're tough to beat. And they were pretty motivated to play. Okay, so that's a good quality win. All wins are hard, and that one was hard. So proud of the players. I do feel like we executed the game plan. With that structure of defense, they can frustrate you with how many people they drop and add, and I've coached against it a lot. And the biggest thing with it is you got to be patient and put the ball in play. And I felt like we were patient. We put the ball in play. We snapped it 78 times. We made them tackle us 64 times. So that's getting us into the right runs. I thought Emmett ran the ball very hard and very well. And then Dylan with his completion percentage, putting the thing in play and making them tackle us. They did a good job of tackling us. Now, that's the lowest tackling bunch I've seen in a long time. I'm not criticizing. That's not a criticize. It's just, that's what happened when we lost Wood, and they got Jacory pretty good early too, and we didn't get what we expected to get out of Jacory based on being hurt the entire game. So that was frustrating, but that's football. Heart goes out to Wood. Tough, hard-nosed player. Brought energy every day. Brought work ethic every day. Brought physicality every day. That's I feel bad for him. I feel bad for us. Because that does hurt our team, special teams wise and offense. He just did so much, and his attitude was so dang good, and his work ethic was so good. It's going to take multiple people to replace him. There's nobody on our team that can do what he does. The good news is it's football and it's opportunity. It's opportunity for some guys. So. We're going to rep, some people in that spot to try to get those snaps. And, it's an opportunity for a guy like Carter Nelson. It's opportunity for a guy like Ike Bozee. Those guys will eventually get there. Just it's our job to get them there as quick as possible. So, not happy with 20 points. We had 9 possessions. It was a possession-type game. The yards per play isn't what I expect. Explosive plays isn't what I expect. We're going to keep harping on that. Unfortunately, I didn't see it out there again today. How do you fix that? One's the structure of the defense that we played and what the game plan was. That allowed us to win. Okay. Two, we got to do a better job of blocking downfield when we get people in the open field. We got to do a better job of blocking downfield. We got to do a better job of staying on our feet and making people miss. We made somebody miss 6 times out of 78 times. It's not or 64 times is when they had to tackle us. So, we're gonna work hard on that. The last drive I was pretty aggressive with it, just based on not wanting to hand the ball off and punt in 3 plays. So I was pleased with the 3 first downs and the 5 minutes of clock, but. It was unfortunate that we didn't finish the 4-minute offense at the end of the game. Clearly, I would have liked to possess the ball, get another first down, game over, put another 2 minutes and 30 seconds on our time of possession, which was fantastic, and make it a little less dramatic at the end. So there's some things to work on.
How do you feel about the running back spot? Obviously, had the 25 carries. There wasn't much from the other guys. Is that something you're going to try to change here?
Have to. The way that game was, it was a close game, hard-fought game. He was rolling, man. He played his tail off. So proud of him. Ran hard, was good in pass protection, was good in the passing game, minus the 1 drop, which I've never seen him drop 1 pass in practice, let alone, in a game. So, player of the game in my mind, so tight game. You got 2 freshmen on the sidelines. We handed the ball to Isaiah twice early, and it didn't look good. He's still trying to figure things out, and just with his veteran presence and the way it looked out there, he just kept going, and so I don't regret that. I mean, we got to do what we got to do to win the game, but yeah, that can't keep happening, and so, Ives got to get going, Mackay's got to get going, Ike will continue to improve in that area. So I don't care who we play this week, that has to change.
Who would be next up? Would it be Mackay?
It would have been Mackay last week, but it's all about what the tape looks like today and how they practice tomorrow and what Thursday looks like. That's going to be a constant evaluation of who's the next guy in. In that game, he was the next one in.
So you said you didn't see it today, the explosive plays. Is it just a matter of making guys miss? Is it Dylan being more aggressive? I mean, he kind of played it pretty efficient.
He did what we asked him to do. I didn't want to start forcing things downfield into 8 people covering, right? So that was the game plan, okay? And so it's a combination of what the game plan was, but it's also a combination of, like I said, downfield blocks, springing people. We had the ball 3 times in the open field and fell down. I saw people falling down out there today. So staying on your feet, being athletic, making people miss. I mean, it's an emphasis of where I'm at right now because we have to become more explosive, and right now we're just not.
How do you size up the O-line play and also the left tackle rotation in that situation moving forward?
Yeah, it's going to be the same conversation as what I just said about the backup running back spot, right? It's about how those guys practice, and who practices well is going to be the ones that deserve more reps. So we'll get in. Today's an important practice to get in there and look at it. So. Overall, I thought it was good. I think they did a good job in the run game. I think they did a good job in pass protection for the most part. I give Cincinnati credit; those guys were big and physical up front. And played with a tremendous amount of effort and a tremendous amount of physicality. So it was a good test for us. Game 1, I was very happy with the test. Getting tested like that, I think that's going to be good for our football team moving forward.
In the ways that you're trying to make this offense more efficient, how much more advantageous is it for you to have a game to coach off of versus just continuing to do it off of what you see week to week in practice, spring, OTAs, camp, that stuff? Yeah, it's awesome to have that opportunity to coach off of with a victory. That makes things a little bit easier, clearly. But you get to a point in camp where you ain't gonna get any better. I mean, it is what it is. And we were at that point, to the point where it's like, okay, let's put them in a setting to see what this thing looks like. And so, couldn't be more happy for that. Excited about our opportunity Saturday against Akron. Those guys played good defense. And so it's a different defensive structure. So we can do some different things, and so that's going to be a good opportunity for us to be able to work on some things and see what we got. Is that what you were hoping to get out of Hunter and Key in their first performance?
Yeah, I was pleased with those guys, other than the lack of explosive plays, and so we're just going to keep talking about it until we get it, but I thought those guys played, they did what I knew they were capable of doing. There's always more. There's always more. I want 6 catches turns to 8 catches, 60 yards turns to 100 yards. From an efficiency standpoint, we were 11 of 20 on critical downs. I mean, that's 55%. Our goal's 50. We got down in the red zone and we punched it in twice in man-to-man situations, which we didn't do that last year. And so those guys have the ability to win one-on-ones. Very, very pleased with that. Both of them made great plays in the end zone. The one time that we had to kick the field goal down there, it's unacceptable to every level known to anybody that's watching it. You can't jump offside. That's been addressed, okay? But even if it's 1st and 5.5, you got 3 plays to be able to punch that thing in. And all I talk about is finishing drives with touchdowns. I don't ever want to kick a field goal. That goal is at about 70%. We were 66, so happy with the 2, but wasn't happy with the 1. It's just lack of execution, 3 plays in a row. Lack of execution, 3 plays in a row. Had to kick the field goal.
Did you lobby to go for it on that one too?
No.
4th and goal there?
No. I mean, it is 4th and 6 on the 6th. I mean, you kick that, So, I was excited about the 4th and 2. Okay, I mean that's a go for it. 4th and 6 at that point in the game is not.
Can you on that 4th and 2? Can you speak to Dylan's decision making there on he said it was the same play call on 3rd down and 4th down, and obviously ran on 3rd down, threw on 4th down, especially coming off the previous 4th and 2 where he didn't have the success he wanted.
Yeah, that was a mental error on Dylan, the 4th and 2, in the strike zone. Okay, that's 4 down territory. That's a go for it all the way. And I'll make that decision. Coach Rule makes that decision. But down there on the goal line, we ran that play, and it's a bang bang, got to make a decision thing. In 3rd and 4, he handed it, and we had to look and just called the same thing with conviction, man, and just said just execute it, And I told him to ride it just a little bit longer, so that gave him just a hair longer. But Dane popped, and it was obviously pretty good for our football team that we punched that thing in.
Matt talked about Carter Nelson's importance now increasing. What have you seen from Nelson through camp and into game?
Yeah, he's just now getting his legs underneath him. I mean, he didn't do anything for 6 months, and so, he was on a rep count early in camp. Just over the course of 5 weeks, that rep count has gotten up to the point to where now he's not on a rep count. I think week 3, we were not pleased with how he was running, and he was just dead-legged and just trying to get him underneath himself, I mean, that's hard when you don't do anything for 6 months. But now he's back. I see what Carter is now. Okay, so now it's just about the opportunity. It's about logging the reps. It's about putting him in position, putting him in the game. I think he got 5 reps last week. That's not enough. He's going to get more, and I'm excited about what he can turn into.
And given your experience as an assistant, also as a head coach, do you feel that the adage of the biggest improvement comes from week 1 to week 2? Does that always hold true?
Yeah, first couple games, absolutely. Coach Rule is pretty adamant about game 1 to game 2. I've always been game 1 to game 2 to game 3. But that's 100% true. I don't think you'd see a coach, that wouldn't say that. But with the same breath, we want to be playing our best football in December. And so I think that's just a constant. Game 1 to game 12, can we just continue to steadily increase, what that thing looks like for sure.
What did you see out of Luke Lindenmeyer? 5 for 5, 47.
Were they chanting his name in the stadium? Somebody said that. There's Luke. That's awesome. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Luke. No, he's a good football player, man. I mean, I sat up here in front of you guys last year in November and said that I thought he was a good football player, and his reps increased. And now he knows he's the guy. And now he knows he's number 1. He's playing like it, and so he has the ability to get open. He has the ability to catch it. He has the ability to get it upfield and get us first downs. And then he holds his own in the run game as well. So good football player, man. He just keeps getting better. All right, thank you all.